Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. This is going to be another video on the ZT562. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. What? Alright guys, so in my review of this knife I mentioned I liked obviously the design, the hinder design, and the execution from ZT so much that I wanted to really make this knife stand out in my current collection. So I decided to order some custom parts for it. I thought in this video I'd show the final product here and just talk a little bit about the two part makers I dealt with to buy the custom handle scale here, as well as the custom hardware. So let's just get started. Of course, this is the original handle scale that came with the 562, which I won't be using anymore. I guess the most obvious way to change the aesthetics of this knife was just to buy a handle scale, and this guy here is from Aramis Knives. I hope I'm not totally butchering that name, but I'll show you the little card here that came with the handle scale. You can see the information there. He also has an Instagram page. I bought this scale off his eBay store, and I believe he's based in Russia, so it did take a little bit of time to get here, but I'd have to say I'm very impressed with the workmanship. You can see obviously I did go with the red color G10 with the diamond texturing, which is really reminiscent to me of the custom XM knives from Rick Hinderer, of course. Not exactly the same, but very, very similar to that. And the grip in the hand on the G10 scale is really nice. It feels great, a little bit more grippy than the normally small textured G10 here that came with the knife, so I do like that a lot. Also, something to note, which I didn't realize until I assembled the knife, was the new handle scale is quite a bit thicker, almost twice as thick as the original zero tolerance scale, which is totally fine. I mean, the knife design in general is already a little bit beefier, so it doesn't really change the way it carries in your pocket, and it still feels really great in the hand. So I do like that. Of course, being a little bit thicker, Aramis decided to, of course, recess the screws a little bit more into the material, so they still have plenty of threading to grab onto, so no worries about the thicker material making your screws too short or anything like that. So really good design. The fit of the scale to the liner is perfect. Of course, it follows it as it should all the way around. Of course, it doesn't here. The liner is purposely cut a little bit lower so you can get your finger into that space a little bit easier. But besides that, it follows the liner perfectly, so big thumbs up. I'm really digging the color also. The red is a nice deep kind of vibrant red. It's not too light, so I'm glad I went with that. Of course, he does make these scales in a vast array of colors and different textures and stuff like that. So if you're looking for a custom handle scale, definitely check him out. He does other knives too, of course, like Benchmade and Spyderco's as well. So I love the handle scale. 2 thumbs up for sure. All right, the hardware I bought for this knife, you can see definitely adds kind of that next level of pizzazz, and I think it turned out really nicely with the red. Of course, it's all personal preference, but the custom part maker I bought from for the hardware is another eBay seller. His name is xxxadrenalinxxx. Kind of a funky name, but his work here with these titanium parts is amazing. So everything here, all the hardware is now anodized titanium. I basically just bought 2 sets from him, so you don't have to pick out, you know, each individual screw. I bought the set here with the standoffs in purple, as well as all the external hardware in bronze, and I think it turned out really nice personally. I like the bronze on the red all around, and then you get kind of like that little flashy purple when you look at the spine of the knife, so I kind of like that a lot. I think it turned out really well. The color is nice and vibrant. I'd have to admit, just looking online at the pictures, I was a little bit skeptical of how vibrant the purple was going to be in person. I wasn't sure if there was some, like, you know, tricky lighting going on in the photography or something like that, but I'm inside right now and not even in the sunlight, and it's still really nice and bright. So the purple anodization is amazing. It has kind of like these blue hues to it too, which I think looks really nice. Gives almost like a chameleon effect to the spacers here. And what I really like, even like the small details, he did very well. You can see that compared, I'll get it in a little example here. So you can see all the cuts in the original pillar that came with the knife are all 90 degrees for the channel and everything. Adrenaline here cut them on more of a like 45-degree angle, which I think catches the light a little bit nicer and just really makes it pop, which I think is really cool. Just like the small details like that is really nice. The anodization in terms of the durability I can't speak to yet. I've only had the parts on this knife for about a week, but it seems to be pretty good so far in terms of wearing. All the bronze is nice and even, and I think it looks pretty sweet. These two sets I mentioned did both come with the hinderer stabilizer, so the bronze one here as well as the purple, but I did kind of make my own from the back of a 9mm casing, which I think is kind of like a little cool nod to my firearms hobby, so I'll probably keep that one there. But of course I do have the option of the original one or the other two colors if I feel like switching it out. So I did, just quickly to mention, change the pocket clip slightly. I just took the black coating off of it with my Dremel and then proceeded to match the finish of the blade with it as best I could in terms of just how reflective it was. So I just used some honing compound and tried to match the blade, which I think I did pretty well, and I think it looks a lot nicer now. So just personal preference, I didn't like the black. But that's the final product basically, with the custom handle skill from Aramis Knives and the custom titanium hardware from xxx Adrenalinxxx. I'll put everyone's information in the description, of course, but I think it turned out really well. So let me know what you think. Of course, it's all personal preference when it comes to aesthetics, but I think this turned out really nice. I will quickly mention before I forget, the tolerances of all the hardware was on point. I was a little bit concerned, especially searching out hardware and knives and stuff. Sometimes it changes certain things if it's not perfect, and the knife is the exact same as before using the 0 tolerance screws. So blade centering is still perfect, everything locks up the same, all the screws fit together without any issues and into the scales and everything. So big thumbs up for both these parts makers. I love the knife, and again, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.